But on behalf of All India Educators Forum, this is good evening to all of you. And as I said, it's a very, very special day today because we have Yogita ma'am with us today. She's the principal of DPS Hyderabad and so much involved in CBSE work. And the topic that has been chosen today is something which is very close to her heart, and it's something which every educator should know. The passion of teaching comes in your lesson plans. You have to create a happy classroom. That's what we are here for. And when the students are stressed out and you have a good lesson plan, the teacher has planned the lesson, the content is good, and I'm sure the is going to be a rocking place. So it's not going to be a dreaded, it's a temple of learning. And with the NEP coming in, with the art integrated learning, the dynamics of teaching learning has changed so much. And we've got the best resource person possible in Yogita ma'am, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy this session. So I would request everyone to put yourself on mute unless there is a question that you are having. Then you can unmute and ask. Otherwise, I will request everyone to mute.
जहाँ pencil box है ना वहाँ.
Yeah. So there is somebody there with the mic on. Yeah. Thank you. So in case you have a question, I don't mind. You can just unmute yourself and you can ask the question. But otherwise, it will be better for the seminar, the webinar to have muted, because otherwise the external sounds comes and it disturbs the other people. And just before we start, just want to remind you that if we get logged out in between, kindly log in with the same ID and password and do not leave the group immediately. The link for the certificate will be sent in the group and then you will get, so don't leave immediate, don't be in a hurry to leave the group. We'll also be updating you about the next programs, and we'll also take a feedback from you of what you want, because we have Yogita ma'am as the resource person. She has a lot of programs lined up. So this is just the beginning, and I'm sure that after this you will want to attend more of our sessions. So I will invite Yogita ma'am, you can take over. And
Sir, I'm sorry to intervene here. I'm Rachna from Hyderabad. So I have I need clarity here. CBSE is asking that the teachers need 50 hours of classes, that is webinars they have to attend or any
Yes,
other sessions. Is it mandatory, sir?
yes, ma'am, it is mandatory. Yogita ma'am will be telling you better. It is mandatory, ma'am. That is why CBSE is having so many sessions and so many, professional organizations into this, because, this is very important, because unless we attend this, how are we going to learn? Because what we studied 10 years, 20 years, 30 years back may not be relevant in today's times. So it's over to Yogita ma'am. I think now she is the resource person for today.
Thank you very much, sir.
Hand it over to Yogita ma'am. Ma'am, please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So good evening, dear friends. Rachna, such a beautiful question you've posed. Training is integral and mandatory both here. In the VUCA world that we are living in, things are changing so fast. These children whom we believe that we are training them, we are educating them, they're going to face 7 major changes in their careers, right? So how do we prepare children to be prepared to face these many variations? First of all, we need to be prepared. Teachers, we need to be prepared. That's why these many trainings are mandatory. Until unless we know so much, we'll not be able to impart much to the children. So we need to know 100, 200, 300 things. And then I'm sure children will at least get 50% of what we know. And if we know just 1 or 2 or 3 things, children will know not even that much. So it's imperative to learn every time. And this platform that COVID has given us, the e-platform, I think we are lucky. Sitting home, we get to learn so much. CBSE is doing wonderful work for things to happen, like experiential learning. So many beautiful things happening in experiential learning. All the good schools were doing it ever, but now these practices can be shared easily with rest of the India, rest of the schools. So I take this opportunity to talk about joyful classes, right? So just allow me to share my screen. I have jotted few slides for us all.
Yes, ma'am, you can share.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So yeah, so we start with this. My name is Yogita. I head Delhi Public School Sahibabad. All the beautiful academic work that we do, I'm simply in love with that. And the smile that brings joy to us is basically due to the joyful learning that children go through. So yes, these are the three characters that CBSE takes always. I have picked up the same. Now, the VUCA world, as I just started with, VUCA world is a dynamic world where children, they don't know what career they will take, though they think that this career they will take, but we never know that this career that exists today will be there tomorrow or not. So we need to adapt to these changing requirements and changing employment landscape and global ecosystem. It is becoming increasingly critical that children not only learn, but more importantly, learn how to learn, because there are few situations that these children will face. COVID, when we faced, we did not know what to do, but we did, because we learned. We were keeping ourselves updated with so many things, and we were quick to accept, adopt, and then execute. Same we have to prepare our children for. Not only this, but so many things that we even don't know what will be coming in the coming time. So pedagogies, the pedagogies that we should design now should be joyful, for the children to enjoy, understand, and then experience the aha moment. Aha moment, teachers, is something which a child, when does himself, experiences himself through the different strategies that I'll be discussing later. Through different strategies, when they feel the satisfaction, accomplishment, that is aha moment. So all the lesson plans that we design should ultimately lead to that aha moment for the child. And as soon as that aha moment child has, the feeling of accomplishment comes in him. And he's satisfied that he's learned something today and he's done something today, right? So there are the pedagogies must be evolved to make education more experiential. Let the child experience it. Holistic, integrated, inquiry driven, discovery oriented, learner centered, discussion based, flexible, and of course, enjoyable. The NAP states the same. Based on NAP, these lesson plans will help us design and execute a chapter in a way that children enjoy. Right? So joyful learning necessarily imbibes the elements of deriving pleasure with a sense of achievement and accomplishment. Whether it is experiential learning, art integrated learning that you all are doing nowadays, and if you're not doing, you may do art integrated learning, activity based learning, sports integration, financial integration, home economics integration, beautification as in for integration. So everything that gets integrated brings joy to the child. What happens when we do standalone subjects, say history, say English, say science, any sciences, right? So, and when child tries to relate it to the real life is not one subject alone. There are no standalone subjects in the real life. So all the subjects are integrated. When we teach one subject, the child is not able to relate it to the real life. That's why we as teachers, we need to integrate it in such a manner that child is able to relate it to the real life. God has not created one subject or the other subject. These disciplines that are there, and we have actually changed them to standalone subjects. So now the approach is changing. We are trying to relate it to the real life by including all the subjects together. Though it has so much to cover, but today I will be covering the lesson plans basically, how to make your classes joyful, right? Full of fun for the children. So, but still, a few basic things that should be covered today I will be covering it, and then I'll be taking you all to the lesson plans, integrated lesson plans. So learners are given opportunities to experience emotions of surprise. So it's a child who does not know that whether he is capable of doing one thing or the other, and he does it. And there is an element of surprise. That joy the child will not learn only for today, but forever. If you are participating in toy fair, the national toy fair that is happening, my school is participating, and my students have made such beautiful, lovely toys, easy toys, and they're learning different subjects through them. Yesterday, when Doordarshan was here in my school, they covered, even little girl was telling that I'm happy to participate. She spoke in Hindi, and we trained her in English, and these Doordarshan people, they started asking in Hindi. This little girl who is 3.5 years old, she answered in English. मैं पार्टिसिपेट कर रही हूँ, मैं बहुत खुश हूँ, मैंने ये टॉय बनाया है. So this was such a beautiful thing that the child was able to communicate in Hindi and still tell the concept that the child has learned through the toy, the game, right? So that is also joyful learning. When the child, we don't teach child to speak in Hindi when some stranger comes. What generally we do, we have those stipulated 10, 20, 30 sentences that we tell child who's 3, 4, 5 years old to speak when some stranger comes. Now this girl, because she had faced that surprise, she's gone through that surprise, she was delighted to play that game and learn the body parts. She explained in Hindi also very easily. So the surprise element should be there when we design our lesson plan, right? So what is a joyful classroom? A joyful classroom engages learners actively and infuses enthusiasm and joy through activities in the form of games, stories, role plays, puzzles, hands-on activities, songs and dances, which I'm sure you're doing, right? When we integrate it with multiple subjects together, it becomes our joyful class. Now, superior learning takes place when classroom experiences are enjoyable and relevant to the student. By ensuring that all students, all subjects are integrated in a manner which encourages the learners to build connections with the real world, as I discussed in the beginning. Standalone subjects, sometimes child tries to relate it to the real life, but is not able to, because there is nothing standalone in the nature. In the real life, all are integrated. So learning will be more relevant, engaging, and deeply rooted in honing skills and competencies. We talk about competencies every now and then. NEP has made us learn these terms: skills, competencies. So how do we build these competencies? How do we build these keys, and what are these skills, and what are these skills? What are these competencies? What should my child be ready with, so that I can say now joyfully the child has been made competent to face the world for the subject, for any skills. So how to imbibe that framework I'll be telling you today. The idea is to ensure that values and life skills are seamlessly embedded, and competencies like citizenship and character are also efficaciously mapped in the curriculum. I hope you're doing citizenship. We do it with our children. So there are special integrated activities for a citizenship. So, okay, I'll do this slide with you, then we'll move further. Art integrated learning, activity-based learning, fun games, studies, sports integration. For example, beautifully sports can also be integrated. PEC activities you're doing in the junior wing, I'm sure you're doing, and in the senior wing also. Sports integration we've done in our, this year what we've done, we were doing it, but this year we've moved one step ahead, and we've added worksheets of sports integration and art integration and financial integration and general knowledge integration in the subjects only. In subject spirals, we've added these. Teachers are working on them. So it's a beautiful work that is happening. So every day we learn so many new things. So for example, when I am doing in maths class, if I am introducing a concept of a sphere. So that week, my children will go and play basketball in the field in their physical education period. They'll be playing basketball. The sports that we typically talk about, sports are to be covered in the morning, not with the subject. So when I say PE, physical education period, in physical education, it is mapped with the subject, right? So so this is learning, experientially learning, including the sports. So that's how we are planning. Now, collaborative learning, assessments as learning by doing, best teachers methods. What we do, we design one method every week in our school. These teachers are doing it. Teachers, they design, and the best teachers method is picked up and is given a smiley. The way you give smileys to your students, we are giving these smileys to our teachers also. So best teachers methods are picked up and we are putting them in one of our records. With their name, they are being given smileys on that. So it goes in the record, how many smileys a teacher has got in the entire year. And then again, smileys also have a many-fold under many categories. So all these forms of teaching learning make a classroom joyful. We get joy when we achieve something after doing or experiencing it ourselves. My teachers are also going through joyful learning. When they devise, they decide, they design their own lesson plans with their own new activities, they feel happy. So this is what their aha moment is. Okay. For example, do you remember setting the stage and props for the annual drama show? It was such a joy. We always enjoyed missing our classes and being with the art teacher, helping her with props, with designs for the stage. What is it? Because we were getting joy out of it. So now if we add some artwork, some sports work in our topic, in our curriculum, and design it now before the execution of the curriculum, we will give this chance to our children also. To an extent, we will give, right? So did any learning take place? What all? When we use art forms, do we learn something? If anyone may answer me for that. If I am, or if you were designing a stage for the annual drama show, so can you just name one learning that has taken place? Or if your students are doing so, you can unmute and answer if you have any answer.
Collaborative learning.
Okay, collaborative learning, right? What else? Can anyone else answer me? Who is this? May I know your name, please?
I'm Salome.
Okay, Saloni, very good. So can any other teacher also tell me?
My name is Preeti.
Okay, Preeti.
Yeah, so I think if the child or the students themselves are designing the props, there would be some maths involved in that.
Absolutely. There are calculations. There are measurements. Absolutely, Preeti. Very good. Anything else?
Good
Is
evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Who's this?
This is Prachi. I believe that designing props for a stage show will help learners develop their aesthetic dimensions.
Absolutely. Lovely. Yes, this is it. So when we think, we know about it. So that's why I asked you guys to answer me. Absolutely good, girls. You've answered well. So we continue. So ultimately, the takeaway is that now there is science also involved. Neuroscientists have studied that optimal learnings take place when such conditions are provided to the brain, which can trigger brain to change in response to stimuli. Engaged and motivated students under minimal stress have high cognitive abilities, make connections, and experience aha moments. So it is all science, right? So engaging minds in the classroom is a surprise power of joy. So it suggests that knowledge and skills must be acquired in a way that cause happiness. This audio, I think you received in the group as well. In order to imbibe new ideas and to take risk of learning new content, persistence and willingness to work through difficulties is required. Such an experience brings joy to students. So if a task that is difficult and the child is able to do it himself, this is also joy to the students and he will remember it for all the time to come. Okay, these are the elements of joyful learning. This requires proper guidance. So I'll quickly read it for you. I'll not go in details here. So joyful learning is improved. It improves improved motivation, engages learner, authentic learning, and encourages autonomy and control, perspective change when they are doing it themselves. What happens in process of joyful learning? All right, this is a separate thing that we'll be doing later. So let me just discuss the takeaway of this part. Impact of joy on overall learning can be summed up as follows. Joy as an important component of true learning encompasses collaboration, connection, sharing, and pride. For an instance, emotions like joy, pride, curiosity are evident in a classroom where child learns about fractions, parts of a flower, molecules through activities like paper folding, poems, and theaters, respectively. Okay, so commonly used strategies, maybe some other workshop where I can discuss beautiful strategies that have been used and some do's in the making the classroom joyful. This is again a detailed thing, so maybe sometimes later. I'll come straight away to principles of planning joyful learning lesson plans. We are making the class joyful. So this is the principle. These are the principles. Planning lessons that facilitate joy to permeate in classroom learning requires a great deal of contemplation, as all learning experiences may or may not be joyful. What we think when we'll be designing the lesson plan, we might think that this activity will be very joyful for the child, but may or may not be. So this will be your experience. Maybe one activity becomes very joyful in school A or in class A, but not in class B. So that will be your observation and you should be able to alter it. There is nothing fixed. It may alter, it may vary, right? So this will be your observation. As per your observation, you may quickly decide to change one element of the activity so that these children, they enjoy it, they like it. Okay, so ultimately it should be joyful. Now, okay, so Judy Willis, a renowned neuroscientist, proposed 3 important neuroscience concepts to be considered while planning joyful lesson plans. So joyful lesson plan is not just fun. It has a science beyond involved in it. So what that science is, there are 3 concepts that have been included. So novelty, it promotes information transmission through reticular activating system. So all science. So novelty, in general words, we say novelty, but it basically has the information transmission involved. The stress-free class promotes learning and retention through amygdala effective filter. So it is all science within the body. Stress-free classroom, when we will execute, children will be able to learn due to not only the activities, these activities are actually stimulating the chemicals in their body to accept and learn the lessons that we've designed for them joyfully. Learning linked with pleasurable associations lead to release of dopamine. This, I believe you all know what is dopamine. It is like, it's a hormone that gives happiness to us all, to children, right? So it is a transmitter, that is, you can say, a messenger in the body, a chemical messenger in the body that helps child to understand it for lifetime. He feels happy, he enjoys it, and then ultimately this experience remains with him forever. So joyful learning principles for creating joyful learning plans. This is what, dear friends, what we are going to understand today, read today, and implement in our classes. Joyful learning. So joyful learning is, one of the principles is that it is personalized. It helps child to understand in his own way, right? Then fosters reflective and thinking self-evaluation, brings novelty, transcends subject boundaries, facilitate connection building, build intrigues. This I'm going to explain. This is important. So build intrigue, we are starting with this one. The teachers should strive to incorporate element of curiosity in the lesson plan. You will design the lesson plan keeping in mind that the child is curious to know more, right? When the curiosity part is involved, the child gets involved himself and he tries to find some answers. The experiences should be planned in such a manner that makes students wonder and ponder, thereby challenging their thinking. So these experiences should make them wonder and ponder, think about it. How is it to be done? What can be done? So let them think, push them in a situation where they not only wonder, but they ponder also. For example, making a flying object out of available materials, making patterns out of objects, designing a Ludo game on skip counting are some of the learning experiences that would compel learners to brainstorm and think creatively. Some simple, you have Ludo and you are teaching skip counting on it. So you have include sports game into your chapter. The learning experiences should be so designed that they facilitate and encourage exploration. And you may ask your students to tell some other game where they can do skip counting and they will come up with 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 ideas. So when you are designing, you're also asking children to design for themselves. So personalized touch will also help them build intrigues. Now, personalize. One of the objectives of joyful learning is to ensure that learners with varied abilities meaningfully interact with the educational content individually as well as in group. So all the activities that we design for these children should be, some of them should be individual, some of them should be group activities, some of them should be independent practice, and some should be in the group. So all the elements we will include here. In order to achieve this objective, it is crucial that learning experiences are tailored according to diverse needs and abilities of your learners, right? One size fit all based experiences totally mutilate the core objective of joyful learning. Do not just design one activity, similar activity, because different children should have different experiences. And in case while you've designed and they are asking for little changes as per their joys, as per their understanding, please let them do. Right? So all learners are little different. little different. So the execution